Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Well, Bitcoin is certainly on a bit of a tear right now, and I urge you guys, because we are in a cryptocurrency bull run, make sure you keep your cryptocurrency safe. I know you might think it's safe on the exchanges. I keep mine on a Ledger Nano, guys. I'm giving 2 of these away. Just wanted to get this out of the way. We have to reach 70,000 subscribers though, so if you're not subscribed, please subscribe now. And if we hit that number, I will be giving away 2 ledgers. Let's get back to the charts though. So Bitcoin trading at about 51,600, and we can see, this is Bitcoin on the hourly, a significant move up overnight. Let me throw a fib on there real quick. You can see we blasted right through the 0.5 and now approaching the 0.618 level, which is up here now. It's difficult to say what is going to happen with the trend. Are we going to retrace back down even further for a prolonged correction, or is this the beginning of some renewed confidence into the crypto market? Of course, Bitcoin is bringing up other coins with it, like XRP. I was surprised to see this morning. I hadn't looked at price action, and I actually looked at XRP price first and saw that it came up to almost 47 cents right up here. Now trading at about 46 cents. And of course, there still is the SEC lawsuit that is, ultimately kind of holding back XRP price. We just had the hearing yesterday with Gary Gensler, and so there were some interesting things that he mentioned. I'm going to get into that. So this tweeted out by XRPCRYPTOWOLF. Gary Gensler says that he will work to foster innovation in the cryptocurrency space. I did a video just the other day, just yesterday as a matter of fact, where I analyzed some comments that Hester Peirce made and also took Gary Gensler's pre-statement, that PDF, to get an idea as to how these guys were perhaps going to use some synergy to help innovate the cryptocurrency market. If you guys didn't catch that video, I'll link it up here in the top right-hand corner. So Gary Gensler then did have his hearing, and, some lukewarm reception there. Some people a bit pessimistic about what he had to say. Some people a little more optimistic. I think there are some positive things ultimately that we can take away from this. I'm going to play you guys a couple of clips. So here's the first question.
At the same time, I know that our outdated crypto regulatory regime is leading other organizations like the Diem Association to set up shop overseas. What can Congress and the SEC do to create a more forward-thinking regulatory environment for innovators in this particular space?
Senator, thank you for having met with me and for that question. I think as I teach at MIT on these subjects, that these innovations have been a catalyst for change. Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies have brought new thinking to payments and financial inclusion, but they've also raised new issues of investor protection that we still need to attend to. And so I think if confirmed at the SEC, I'd work with fellow commissioners to both promote the new innovation, but also at the core, ensure for investor protection. If something were a security, for instance, it comes under the securities laws, it comes under the SEC. If there's exchanges that trade those, to ensure that there's the appropriate investor protection on those exchanges. So promote technology, but still stay true to our core values of investor protection and capital formation.
Did you guys notice that pinging that was happening? Do you think he gave the right answer? Do you think there was somebody on the sidelines, maybe even texting him some bullet points as to how he should be answering this question? It's interesting because he kind of answers the question, but not quite. He talks about innovation. He talks about his background. He talks about this balance between the idea that we realize that technology is going to foster change, but at the same time, we have to protect our investors, and securities that are in the form of cryptocurrencies, or rather securities masquerading as cryptocurrencies, are what are going to be in the SEC's target. Now, we know already there is a Ripple lawsuit. It's already happening as of now. This was before any mention of Gary Gensler being part of the SEC. So that matter is before the courts. We have famously heard Gary Gensler say that he personally already does think XRP is a security. So he has gone on the record and said that. But he said, and this is the silver lining, I think, in this regard, I think the positive thing to take away from this is that he said he wants the lawyers in court to decide what is going to be the fate of XRP, and therefore how it is going to be classified. So he realizes, there is technological innovation. We can't sit on the sidelines, but at the same time, the SEC is not going to let up. They are going to go after cryptocurrencies that they see are being utilized as securities to help foster business. There's a whole list of things that you could say this cryptocurrency is being used as a security, if it doesn't pass the Howey test, so on and so forth. So, okay, I'm a little, okay, whatever on that answer. Let's go to the next one.
If you could share your perspective on the SEC's role under your leadership, if you're confirmed, and how you will approach digital assets.
Senator, I thank you for that opening. I share your thoughts. It's always important to update our market oversight to new technologies, but I believe foremost to be technology neutral. And I say that because if there's new technology and of cryptocurrency and potentially central bank digital currencies comes along, that it's important to stay true to our principles of investor protection and capital formation, but at the same time be technology neutral. So I think that at the SEC, it's really to the extent that somebody is offering an investment contract or a security that's under the SEC's remit, and they have exchanges that operate there, then we have to make sure there's investor protection. If it's not that, it's a commodity, as Bitcoin has been deemed to be, then it's either a question for Congress, how Congress would want that to be overseen, or it's possibly a question for the Commodity Futures Trading Commission.
And so here's where I think a lot of people are a bit concerned when he says that he wants to apply the law in a way that is technology neutral. Well, this is what that means. It's defined by Wikipedia down here. It's the freedom of individuals and organizations to choose the most appropriate technology adequate to their needs and requirements for development, acquisition, use, or commercialization without knowledge dependency involved as information or data. It also means that the same regulatory principles should apply regardless of the technology used. Regulations should not be drafted in technological silos. So if you look at meaning number 2 over here, that is exactly the context we're looking at here. The SEC is not going to draft, or at least they say they're not going to draft new rules for cryptocurrencies. Basically, if you are utilizing a cryptocurrency as a security, you are going to be scrutinized the same way unregistered securities are scrutinized by the SEC. And you are also going to be sued by the SEC. So if you think about it, it kind of goes against what Gary Gensler has been saying this entire time. We realize that, technological advancements are occurring and we need to change with the times. But at the same time, we are going to bring upon this idea of technology neutrality, which means that, every company is going to be scrutinized the same way. And so if you have indeed created something that acts like a security, we are going to go after you. This might not seem fair in a lot of ways for the cryptocurrency world because, these things are by definition currencies. Well, some are, some aren't. And of course, there are going to be bad players in the space. And so this is what I think. I think Gary Gensler really just doesn't want this to get out of hand. And I do think that at the end of the day, the majority of the companies that are basically doing the thing that he says is going on, 99% of companies out there that are selling their currency, pump and dump schemes, using their currency proceeds to create a business, that I think is what he's mostly against, and not so much, not so much the kind of thing that Ripple is doing with XRP. Now, there's this idea that Ripple was doing something in the past with XRP that may have been different than how XRP is being utilized today, and that's still up for debate. Of course, that's in the courts. We also know cryptocurrencies can change over time, that their utility can be one thing at one point in their life span, and then at another point, it can be something else. And so this is going to be the tedious kind of legal work that we're going to, I think, explore during this Ripple SEC lawsuit. Also, the thing that we have to remember is Ripple is the first one to be really under the microscope at this level. This is the lawsuit the SEC brought upon Ripple. They're the first, and I think whatever the outcome becomes in the Ripple case, that is what is going to set the precedent for the rest of the cryptocurrency space. So if you say, for example, that our cryptocurrency was utilized in this way in the past, and it was utilized in security-like fashion, well, then maybe you are going to be punished for those actions specifically. But if your cryptocurrency has changed and evolved over time, and there is clearly utility that is being derived from particular cryptocurrencies, in this case, I'm talking about XRP. XRP is being utilized in an ecosystem. There is a lot of use case right now. We just heard the other day, a lot of banking and financial institutions in Japan are using XRP to perform cross-border transactions. And the other verticals that are happening with the XRPL as well. There is so much utility that is being derived from this cryptocurrency that it's really hard to argue that it is just a security and just used to fund a company, namely Ripple. The other thing is, of course, XRP was created before Ripple was even a company. So there are a lot of arguments here, and I understand where Gary Gensler's going, I think a little bit, but I think at the end of the day, this isn't as bad as it sounds. What else do we have here? Well, here's a tweet thread with regards to the same topic. Anders L here saying, well, it then seems like he's just there to protect the mega banks. Shocker. It's pretty much a given in my opinion, says Massimo. Japan likely. Screw this place. Bunch of stifling idiots with zero vision. They're talking about where Ripple should end up going. Anders L put up a little poll here. So some more people discussing more about this. He is talking like that because he has to please the wealthy investors. Gary is no friend. Remember that. He's the same as the last one, just with a smile. I do think XRP will get clarity by Supreme Court and not Gary Gensler. The rich are not going to want to settle at Ripple's terms. Allison down here saying, weak hands will sell. This is like diplomatic FUD, in my opinion. And then the Natural Cube here saying Gensler involuntarily smiles when hinted about regulation by legal challenges. He gives Bitcoin only and no other coin a full pass. Bitcoin is allowed because it's non-disruptive to the existing financial system. Gensler's priority is protecting bankers, not investors. And it's interesting to hear Gary Gensler talk about this idea of protecting investors, whereas, a lot of retail investors who, ironically, have been the first adopters of cryptocurrency are really the ones kind of getting shafted. Sherpa down here saying maybe it's an optimism, but I would give him the benefit of the doubt and assume he is more interested in the success of his country than the success of banks. And I don't know about that. There's an old legacy system, as we know, that makes a lot of money doing it the way they do. It is old technology, granted. There is a better way. But, these guys like their money. They do not want to be disrupted. And so this is part of what's going on here. This is part of the narrative. This is why we're seeing XRP and RippleNet being adopted in other parts of the world. The United States has its own very closed system, and they want to keep the money where it is. The rich get richer, and they do not care about the poor. Neatsbucks here says a confirmation hearing is an interview. His answers are vague to garner broad support, so he gets the job. I'm not taking the hearing as a significant source of gaining new data on his views. It was interesting to see senators frustrated with the SEC's lack of clarity. That is an interesting statement here with regards to that. And guys, if you haven't checked out Jeremy Hogan's video on this, I suggest you do. Jeremy Hogan also does a great job and gives his views on the matter. As you know, he is a lawyer that does a YouTube channel. I also saw this thread, so originally tweeted out by Real XRP Boy here on Twitter. I am 1% says most people don't seem to understand that regulations are actually good and well needed for crypto to go anywhere. Crypto is the future. It won't be going away again. If you believe that the currency of the future won't be regulated, you're going to be having a bad time. The whole point, besides faster, cheaper, and more secure payments, is for them to have more control over you and to be able to track your every move. Embrace regulations, embrace the future. If you're legit, you won't have anything to worry about. And I think that at the end of the day, this is exactly what they want. They want control. They don't want to relinquish control. And this new way to provide cross-border payments, in this example with Ripple and XRP, is a threat to bankers. And I've been saying this on this channel for a while now. It's a new way to conduct business, and they have to get warm to it first. And, these guys have a lot of people in high places that are very powerful and very influential. So it's not going to be easy, and nobody said it was going to be easy, for Ripple to take the reins and to reign supreme, I suppose, in some ways. They're obviously not going to be the only game in town, but I definitely do think, it speaks volumes what's happening already around the world with RippleNet. I do think that eventually these guys will come to a conclusion, and we will see RippleNet integration in a more meaningful capacity in the United States and even more widely throughout the world. That's just my opinion on things. Another perspective from the Gary Gensler hearing, I gotta say this from ZeroHedge here on Twitter. So he posted this article from the same website. Incoming SEC Gary Gensler has said that the U.S. Senate confirmation hearing for the nominees to lead the Securities and Exchange Commission and the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, that he's going to be examining the payment for order flow business model closely. He committed to looking at the business model, and that has been at the center of the GameStop controversy for the past several weeks. So guys, you gotta also remember there's the GameStop type trading that is going on, and it's not just cryptocurrencies. So critics of the system, including ZeroHedge, have pointed out to how front-running could be prevalent as a result of the model. This ostensibly could result in clients of zero-commission brokerages not getting the best possible execution on trades. So Gensler also said that he's going to scrutinize trading apps that encourage gamification of trading, according to Yahoo. So apps like Robinhood that are basically geared towards Gen Z millennials who are already very connected and who already use their smartphones to perform a lot of daily tasks anyways. They're treating it like a video game, or at least that's how the SEC sees this. So he is specifically looking at how to protect investors using trading applications with behavioral prompts designed to incentivize traders to trade more. And so this is, I think, a big point that the SEC wants to tackle. It's not just cryptocurrencies. Down here it says Gensler also said he will try to rid cryptocurrency markets of fraud and manipulation in what would likely be a Herculean undertaking for his administration. So this one line here basically stating that the cryptocurrency market is already huge, and even though Gary Gensler wants to get rid of fraud and corruption in the cryptocurrency space, which I think by and large, guys, as I'd mentioned before, is focusing on 99% of those companies that are pump and dump scams, that are, putting out a coin, taking the money, and who knows where the project even is. It's not the companies like Ripple. It's not the companies like Cardano. It's not utility tokens. It's not Bitcoin. It's 99% of these other coins out there that they're really trying to focus on here. Unfortunately, XRP and Ripple have just been in the crosshairs, but they do need to set a precedent. So let me keep going down here. Meanwhile, according to Bloomberg, CFPB nominee Rohit Chopra said that he backs the U.S. making its own real-time payment system to give customers faster access to and better control over their own dollars. So let's also not forget, despite what's going on, let's forget about the noise for a second. This U.S. initiative making its own real-time payment system to give customers faster access to and better control over their own dollars, that is FedNow. And we know, guys, this from a couple of days ago now, or a couple of weeks ago now, 4 weeks ago now, Ripple client Valente Technologies joins the Federal Reserve's FedNow payments pilot. So back from February 2nd, about a month ago, we heard this news. Ripple customer Valente Technologies, which is one of the leaders in the sphere of cloud-based payments and financial messaging, has spread the word that it will take part in creating the FedNow service, a pilot of a payment service of the U.S. Federal Reserve that is going to improve payments for banking and retail users. So, a Ripple company working with the Fed in order to make this happen. Again, despite what's going on with the SEC, with Gary Gensler, with him talking about these things and trying to, make sure we get the most out of what he's saying here, at the end of the day, I think the bigger issue that the SEC is focusing on is making sure that 99% of the cryptocurrencies out there are not conducting elaborate scams to steal investors' money. And I could see why the SEC would want to focus on these corrupt cryptocurrency companies. And let's look at it this way. If the SEC focuses on 99% of other coins, the money from those coins are going to have to flow somewhere. And, if XRP gets the stamp of approval first, because we know it's already in court, this lawsuit is going to happen, and we're going to get the clarity sooner than other coins. XRP price will eventually rally once it's all said and done, and the inflow, the money coming from other coins to XRP will likely take it even higher. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We need to hit 70,000 subscribers, guys. We got until March 31st. I'm giving away 2 ledgers. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.